Please welcome to the blue corner, Walter Carter.
Walter Carter. We are now on our 5th fight of the night. Couple finishes already, huh? What is that, 4? 4 finishes so far?
Yeah.
3 finishes?
Yeah, mostly submissions.
Yeah.
Always fun to see the technical abilities on the ground.
I'm jealous. I don't even have a submission victory yet, so kudos to y'all guys.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but you got some knockouts.
Yeah.
I like this analogy. A knockout is a gold medal, a submission is a silver medal, and a decision is a bronze medal. And there's no sense in trying to compete unless you're going for the gold.
Right.
So that's what I appreciate that about you.
That's awesome. I've never heard that, but I like that.
So yeah, so Walter Carter representing SSFC, Southside Fight Club. I think I got that correct.
Yes.
He's undefeated. He's 1-0 as an amateur. He's a pretty good-sized bantamweight, 135-pounder. Fun fact: if you look at like common human height and weight, ubiquitously around the world, the bantamweight weight class is the most saturated. I always assumed that the lightweights was the biggest weight class, but then I had done like a roster dive on the UFC, and they have more bantamweights than any other weight class.
Wow.
And that seems to be true for most other promotions.
And it makes sense because they have so many prospects at the 35 division. I mean,
Yeah,
even
right.
in Fury, we have so many 35ers that are almost on the cusp of making it to the UFC. I mean, we could sit here and make 35 fights for the UFC if they needed us to.
Yeah. All right, let's meet his 35er opponent.
Please welcome Jose Felipe to the red corner.
Jose Felipe, training out of Main Street. You know, they got Coach Bob. Great team up there. They got a lot of good guys locally and in the UFC, and they're ready to kick off and get their team started.
Yeah, I don't know. This is not an official statistic, but I mean, I've been around the scene for a long time. They have to have the most active fighters. I see their training videos. I see their fighters. We call their fights pros and amateurs combined. They got to have one of the busiest teams and one of the highest output of fighters. We see Walter Carter here in the teletape did bust by 1.2 pounds. Fun fact: I actually assumed Jose Felipe was a young man, and he is. He's 30, but he would have told me he was 19, and I would have believed you. So strong genetics in the Felipe family, fighting Walter Carter, who's 21.
Yeah, this should be a good one. You know, Felipe is a wrestler, so we got a lot of grapplers on this card, which is nice to see. Get a little mix of, you know, grappling and submissions. Everyone thinks jiu-jitsu is so boring, but when you see these finishes and these transitions, I mean, for us, I'm having a great time watching these guys transition
100%.
to the back, and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. It's great to see. I think this is going to be a good scrap. These guys are veterans. They both got a couple fights in the cage, so I know they're going to get down and get with it.
All right, Jose Felipe is in the cage. Let's get these bantamweights underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next fight, brought to you by Space City Collective, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Bantamweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Level Up MMA. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 137.2 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, by way of Vienna, Georgia, he holds an amateur record of 1 win, no losses. Here is Black Beauty, Walter Carter. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, representing Main Street Mafia and Paradigm Combat Sports, this freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he weighed in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, by way of Camagüey, Cuba, his amateur record stands at 2 wins, only 1 defeat. Here is Jose Felipe. Your referee in charge of the action, Danielle Guevara.
Jose was ready to start quick.
Let's get it. Let's get it going. Both want to take that center of the cage. I like to see it.
Yeah, Carter, the southpaw, Felipe, orthodox fighter.
Just missing that high kick. Yep, wrestling. Good level change. Just even touching the leg gets the fighters thinking a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Making them drop their hands a little bit, making them have to engage in the wrestling.
That was a really good fake. It was almost like he shot, like And if he could have finished, he would have. But if he got any resistance, he was going to use it as just a strong level change, kind of misguide.
He was definitely in deep. So I mean, look, he's definitely using his wrestling to set up other things. And they go in the cage. Carter with a good underhook.
You know, saying in the walkout, Walter Carter, he's got a big frame, big and muscular for bantamweight.
I mean, you can see the size difference on both of them right now. Carter's a very big, athletic guy. Young, too, 21 years old.
Yeah.
Good knees, kind of just sitting in. Oh, went for the trip.
So, yeah, Jose went for the trip, but his back was on the cage.
Okay.
Anytime I teach trips, you need two things. You need to lean forward, and you need to be moving forward. If you do them from a stationary position, unless, you know, you're on the cage, pressuring on the cage, you're, like, looking to take yourself down by mistake, and that's what happened.
Okay, so you kind of want to get their feet moving.
So, yeah, if it's an open
Off balance
space, you've
a little
got to
bit.
get them going backwards.
Okay.
And if you're going to trip on the cage, you've got to have their back on the cage, and that allows you to lean forward and really scoop that leg out.
Yeah, definitely something I've been working on is trips. I mean, it's easy takedowns, you know, double legs, single legs. People are very good at defending them nowadays, and it takes a lot of energy to grab sometimes.
It sure does.
You know, so being able to trip, sweep the leg out, it's easier takedowns for you to be able to get on top, maybe relax for a second and do damage.
Man, that was a nice pass there from Carter, but as he passed, Felipe got that left side underhook. He's posting up on that right elbow. He's trying to get his right knee on the mat, but his base got taken away. As Carter kind of sits in this open half guard.
You can see Carter's strength is just very overbearing. You know?
It really
Felipe's
is.
trying to get up, and it's hard. You know, we say it all the time. You know, you can roll with anyone in the gym in jiu-jitsu, but if they're stronger, it's definitely harder to work, you know, submissions. Good ground and pound. Looks like he's got Felipe's arm trapped. Maybe, ooh.
Americana. You don't see this almost ever.
He switched.
Sometimes
to
the heavyweights will lock it up. Oh, man, we could see an Americana here.
From the mount, oh, he's back in half guard.
It's just such a hard submission to finish.
How are we supposed to finish this?
I mean, he's got to get his elbow like low to his ribs. I mean, this is a pretty good attempt, especially from top half guard. I'd be surprised if we see a tap, but I mean, this is as deep as it gets.
I mean, he's definitely locked in. So do we need a transition to? Okay, he let it go.
Used it to pass.
Right. Yeah, and that works too. You know.
It's funny, the older you get, like I teach a lot of kids, like the 4 to 6-year-olds, the Americana's great. 7 to 9-year-olds, it's starting to get a little fishy. The teens, almost never. And then the adults, almost never. Unless you get a really big, strong guy who can truly isolate the arm. If you remember, John Jones actually Americana'd Vitor Belfort.
Okay.
But it was in the 4th round of the fight, and John Jones had a topside crucifix.
Oh.
So he had Vitor's inside frame arm pinned. And so that didn't allow him to rotate. So like that topside crucifix, in my opinion, is like the most legitimate, valid Americana you can actually catch. And then there's that really cool variation from the scarf hold where you can Americana with the legs.
Yes.
I actually know Daniel Pineda and the 4-ounce guys are good at that.
I know that one very well. He likes to give me in that one a lot.
But that one, it's almost its own submission entirely. It's the same mechanics as an Americana, but the position and the way we lock it up is different. So
yeah, he likes to get in it just to beat me up so he can just hit me in the face. Yeah. That was a great first round by Carter, though. I'd like to see how Felipe adjusts going into the second round, because he's going to need the second round if he wants to pull out this fight, or at least a finish, because he's down 1 now.
He's definitely down 1. That was a Carter round.
What I did like about Carter is he's even attempting to go for the Americana.
I mean, yeah. Hey, dude, that was a legitimate submission attempt.
It is hard in there.
That was a genuine catch.
People say, why don't you just do this, do that? It's hard when you're in there to, you know, do things that you know that you do very well. But when you're in the heat of the moment, it's hard just to switch and be like, okay, I'm going to do that. So when you see these guys pulling off super cool moves, it's awesome to see them just in the moment, very flowy and just attempting it.
There's a little bit of a headbutt there, but that happens when both guys are coming forward and swinging.
Get a little uppercut from Felipe.
It especially happens from the open stance. You know, both of their jab sides are on the same side, so as they step into jab simultaneously, they often will crash.
Yeah, and that right hand's going to be there. That right side, the right kick, right uppercut, that's all going to be there. And vice versa, that left hand's going to be there for Carter. But you can see it looks like Carter throwing big shots, and he's a little heavy. He's a little tired from that first round, it looks like.
The body language of Carter is definitely showing some fatigue. He's definitely still in it to win it, but he's definitely moving at a more lumbering style.
He's got a good bite on this leg. Let's see if he can finish the single.
Single legs are usually pretty easy to in and around, but they are very challenging to finish. Michael, you were talking about it earlier. It's like a high-calorie expenditure takedown.
Good leg kick for Felipe. He looks like he's starting to turn on. He's getting this forward pressure going. Carter's now on his back foot. He's back on the cage. Body language is telling a lot right now.
I mean, yeah. Oh, man, good right hand there from Felipe.
Good combination.
That was the first time Carter had stepped backwards.
Body head.
I think he realizes when he's going back, he's getting beat up. So despite him being tired, he's got to walk forward into that firing line and put some pressure on Felipe.
As you can see, Carter's going for holding on the fence, putting the pressure on the fence. Oh, good takedown. Way to get that takedown. Even tired. That's a big victory for Carter.
Absolutely.
See, now Felipe was having a lot of success in the first half of the round, where at the last minute, Carter stays on top, then it gets weird. It's like, how do we judge the round? You know?
If Carter can, do some, semi-significant damage here, he'll likely win it with a full minute of control time.
So Felipe's got
good.
this underhook.
Nice
way to get up.
Like, talk about digging deep to try to win this fight. That's exactly what he needed. Yeah. He's still got to finish strong, but he definitely put himself back in the running to win this round.
100%. And you can see Carter's tired. That takedown took a lot.
It sure did.
Felipe's touching him now. Combinations. Oh, desperate shot.
Oh, man.
18 seconds. Let's see what Felipe can do. Let's see if he can get the finish. Untie. There we go. Nice, Felipe. Way to see that he's tired. Way not to engage in the grappling. Beautiful, Felipe.
Felipe had to ride out the storm.
Nice.
And he rode it out. Now these guys are banging it out.
It's going to be an exciting third round.
Man, I think Felipe wins that second round.
Oh, without a doubt.
I genuinely think it's 1-1 going into 3.
Oh, without a doubt, Felipe.
Pretty uncontested.
Felipe definitely won that second round. He had the pressure, he had the volume, and he started landing. And then he, like you said, he ended the round strong. He was on his back, got up, and ended the round strong, and that's what we love to see. I mean, you're a coach. You'd love to see that from these guys, these young amateurs, man. Having some heart, having some grit.
And, I've been in a position where the guys are like, get up, and I've not made it happen. You got to make it happen or lose. Like, those are the two options.
Or at least, if you have to give up your back to get up, or give something up for you to have to get, a little bit of space for you to maybe attempt to get up. Now you're getting up and they have their hands locked, but at least you're standing up.
Yeah. Making them work, burning the gas tank, which is what we saw in that second round.
And I think, Main Street, like we talked about, they're very well coached. I think they knew that Carter was going to come out hot, and they just had to weather the storm. And I think that if Felipe could put it together, he could get a finish. I mean, at the end of the second round, it looked like he was getting close to it. So we'll see what Carter can pull out. See what kind of heart that Carter has and some energy he has left.
Man, I've been in these guys' position before, and when you're this tired and working this hard, your punches just don't have the same pop to them. So unless Felipe can get some just real high volume, I think this is going to be a battle of attrition in this third round. Whoever can just kind of last the longest is going to win it. These guys are both, I think, running on empty.
You hear it all the time. Who wants it more?
Yeah.
Who's going to dig deep? Who was doing those extra sprints, those extra punches? Who was doing that little bit extra? And that's who usually pulls it out at the end.
That's right. That's why you got to have fight camps if you're going to fight. You have to have hard fight camps. This is maybe my 50th fight coming up, camp-wise, and it's maybe the hardest one. So like it's just if you guys are gonna fight for a living, you get used to a lifetime of hard fight camps.
I had the best fight camp in my life for this Contender Series fight.
Heck yeah.
Daniel was getting ready for his Manchester fight.
Oh yeah.
So I was able just to be his main training partner every single day, getting him ready, trying to mimic his guy, and I ended up having a 12-week camp, first time ever, and that was the best shape I've ever been in, best weight cut, and
that's a young man's game right there.
And I felt great, and the team was behind me, supporting me, and when you have a legend like Daniel telling you what to do, it makes it easy.
100%.
Eye poke.
You know what? Danielle warned him going into this round. I don't know if you saw it, Michael, but she said, hey, you got to keep your fist closed at range. And she warned him, they may take a point. They're going to take a point. Wow. That's what happens. So this is not the first warning. She did warn him right after round 2, right before round 3 started.
Oh, that is huge, especially 1-1.
So at best, I think Carter's fighting for a draw.
Yeah, or a finish. He's got to finish now.
Yeah.
If I'm his coaches right now, I'd be telling him, hey, that's a big point because that second was not ours, so we need a finish.
Yeah, we've seen
or 10-8, but you know how hard those are to get.
Man, yeah. We've seen some good officiating tonight. We had the cage grab that was blatant and it directly stopped the takedown. That was point deduction worthy. And this foul happened right after a warning. Good job on the refs here tonight.
Looks like Felipe's good. It looks like it wasn't too bad of an eye poke. Carter's still a little tired. Interesting going for the takedown. Got it though. Good. Easy too.
Yeah.
Not too much. Carter giving up his back.
90 seconds left in this fight.
See what Felipe can do. 130 left.
Nice trip there.
Beautiful, like we talked about. Easy takedowns that exert the least amount of energy, especially in the third when you're very tired. Good ground and pound, nice. Optics is huge. Good head control. See what Felipe wants to do. Trip again, beautiful.
Nice, he's just putting it on him.
Let's see if Felipe can get this finish. The body language from Carter just isn't great.
Man, I just think he's gassed. I think he's in excellent shape too. This is just the difference between training and fighting.
100%.
Man, if Felipe stays on this, he could get a TKO.
Yeah, stay up top. There we go.
This is what I meant. The punches don't have a lot of pop on him, but if he can just beat him with some straight up volume.
Yes. If he keeps going, 30 seconds. You hear it all the time in practice. 30 seconds, finish strong. This is it. This is the practice right here. Fingers are in there. Wait for the...
Felipe's got a really good angle here. Finishes another trip.
Way to finish. Punch is good. Way to finish strong by Felipe. You love to see this as a coach. Not just laying and praying.
Almost caught a finish. So that was a 10-9 round, Felipe undoubtedly. But with the point deduction, that makes it a 10-8 round.
Oh.
So if they gave Walter the first two, it would be a draw.
Right.
But I don't think that's the case. I do think Felipe won round two. Now, I've been wrong so far tonight, so this is all hearsay until these judges give the official decision. But man, what a tremendous second and third round push there from Felipe. And then props to Walter Carter. I mean, he fought his butt off in round one. And just going into his next fight, he'll have to pace himself just a little bit more.
Look at these guys, man. They give it all. They give it all they can. We love to see it.
Dude, we know how to feel there, Walter Carter.
Give it everything, and that's what we love to see.
Yeah.
Leaving it all out there. No matter what the result at the end of the day is, if you gave everything you can, you can be happy with that.
Yeah, that was a fun fight.
And it was beautiful to see Felipe just being able to come back in the second and third. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by Space City Collective. All 3 judges score the fight 29-28, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jose Felipe.
I'm here with your winner, Jose Felipe. Jose, that puts you at 3-1 as an amateur, a strong record. That has to have been your hardest fight to date. Just tell us how you're feeling after that war.
Definitely not my hardest fight, man. The hardest fight that I had throughout this whole camp was my sparring partners. They pushed me so hard every time we sparred. So, it took me a minute to react and know that I could dig deep. But at the end of the day, I ended up doing it. And I got my team to thank for that. It's a little bit sweet because I want to get the finish and I didn't, but I can't make too big in the sport. I'm happy with the result, but definitely want to go back and rewatch the fight as soon as possible and see what I did wrong, see what we could have done better, and just run from there.
Man, excellent fight, tremendous effort. 3-1, a pretty seasoned amateur record now. When do you want to fight again?
Who or when I fight is entirely up to my coaches. They say jump, I say how high, so whatever they want me to do next, I'll be ready.
Congratulations, excellent fight. Jose Felipe, everybody.
I just want to thank you for those guys, I can't emphasize enough how critical of a role they played in my development. from making sure that I was ready to skill development. I'm so grateful for them and the rest of my coaches, Coach Colin Wright, who brought me into the sport. Super grateful for him. Gabe Macario, who more than a coach has become my consigliere. My boxing coach, Eric Navarro, Professor Marcus, Coach Pedro, and last but certainly not least, the mastermind behind it all, Kruba Perez, who is not just a phenomenal coach, but has done such an incredible job at developing guys like Cody and Jacob who can step up in his state and lead the team. So it's grateful to those guys.
Awesome. Jose Felipe, everybody.